Should I talk? Video. Hello, well, guys. Welcome tuning into the talk show, Talk with an Industry Expert. As it said, uh, this show, in this show, we will bring on different industry expert to learn about technology, what's going on um, in industry, and to learn from their stories, the success, the hard work, the struggle behind them. So today is the episode, the first episode. We have a very, we know that during this pandemic, the IT industry is about, many industry where they are paying out these, and we have seen less job cut in the industry, and as the corporation started hiring, many hired and so continuously. It do back. They're thinking about in time ready to work. So we are seeing more side. Cybersecurity has become the biggest concern of the world, right? So today we will talk about security. To do so, very special. Mr. He's a security expert. He's an entrepreneur. He has his own cybersecurity company that he provides to the government. How are you?
I can barely hear you. It's breaking up. But I caught the last part. I'm doing good. How you doing today, Sheikh?
Good, good. I'm doing fantastic. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little on and off, but for the most part, I'm able to put the pieces together and figure out what you're saying.
Okay, I'll try to speak louder. Thanks for that you are a cybersecurity expert. You have your own corporation, and you've been providing the cybersecurity services to U.S. government for last couple of years now. What do you see in the industry? Why do you think cybersecurity is so important?
That's a great question. Well, I got to say thanks again for putting me on this platform to be able to share my experience and my expertise and useful information out here. But can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sheikh?
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
Okay. So I'm a cybersecurity analyst right now, or web application penetration tester. I currently work for Northrop Grumman, and I conduct web application pen tests for them. I've been in this cybersecurity field for about 5-6 years. Started off as a Linux sysadmin, but I would tell you to answer your question in a simple way. The cybersecurity market is very lucrative right now. I mean, if you can consider the dire situation that we're in right now with the pandemic, where people are having to rethink how they work, the workplace, and also how to improve their productivity. The whole atmosphere is changing. But I would tell you, with the cybersecurity space, things are pretty consistent and like I said, pretty lucrative right now. There's a whole lot of opportunities that are going up in the air. Like every day, I keep getting job requests and job notifications from recruiters. Looking to hire. So there's, like I said, there's a whole lot more opportunities. This pandemic period has kind of like opened Pandora's box for cybersecurity experts and people that are looking to get into cybersecurity. So it's a good time to be in cybersecurity right now.
Very nice. So now I've been seeing that 3 million jobs are available. Is that true? Really, in one side of the world, people are struggling because they don't have jobs and they don't know, when they're gonna get a job. That's what everywhere is going on. In the other side of the world, there is 3 million jobs available in cybersecurity. That's sometimes, to me, that sometimes this sounds like too good to be true to a lot of people. So do you agree with that?
I can understand why they they have the feeling or the idea that it's too good to be true, and it's because if you don't know something, you can't really know how deep or how real it is. If you're not close to someone that's in the field or someone that's an expert, if you're not an expert yourself, you can't really see the truth of what the cybersecurity space is. But I will tell you, there's, like I said, every day I get a whole lot of emails. Like I have to delete it. It's like a hobby. Like I wake up in the morning and I see all this recruiters trying to recruit me, and it's like, okay, nope, nope, nope. So
Next,
yes,
next, next.
yeah, I'm like, nah, this is not my focus right now. But that's proof that there are still hiring, that people are still looking for people with the expertise and with the skills that they need. Because believe it or not, as you can see right now, many jobs are going remote. Many jobs are going into the cloud. Many jobs are changing the way that they operate. And obviously, many jobs right now, like Amazon. Amazon is an online business. You need your security aspect to that side. You need to have a secure infrastructure to avoid data leakage or hacking or whatever. So if you need to ensure that your assets remain secure and confidential, you need to ensure that you have the right team to make sure that you don't get any kind of cybersecurity attack. And looking for the right team means opportunities, just like I said, and that means there's a whole lot of opportunities for everyone, and it's not limited to just ethical hacking. Whether you're a programmer, you're an analyst, you're a database guy, you're a system guy, there's so many opportunities right now in this time and space we're in right now.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. So my take is almost the same, because cybersecurity is not just one label, right? It's a series of jobs. There are different areas of expertise. I often get a lot of students asking me this question, that where to begin, right? Because if you look at these, really, there are 200 job titles. That's what they say. Like, so a guy, if we like to pursue a cybersecurity career here in the United States or anywhere in the world, what do you think is the beginning point? Where do they start from?
Okay, I like what you said with the millions of job titles and how ambiguous cybersecurity can be as a term. But what I like to say is everything starts with curiosity. Everything starts with curiosity. If I'm going to speak personally, my own path, in the cybersecurity field right now started with the curiosity to understand how something works and how to break it down and how to put it together. So you got to have that spark of curiosity. But if I can digress a little bit, I know for a lot of people, hearing cybersecurity can be intimidating because the first thing that comes to their head is, oh, I gotta learn how to program. And everyone already knows that programming is something that you gotta be consistent with, and you gotta it's not easy, to put it simply. It's not easy. So every time someone hears, "Oh, I'm a cybersecurity analyst," they're like, "Oh, you're a programmer." I'm like, no, no. It's under the same umbrella, but it's a different strand under the same umbrella. And like I said, there's millions of names and titles that go under the umbrella of cybersecurity. You could be a cybersecurity analyst working for this company, and I could be a cybersecurity, the same job title, working for a separate company, but our day to day are two different things, black and white. So I like to recommend people that are really curious to figure out, what the different strains in cybersecurity are, the different branches, and look for the one that attracts you the most. Look for the one that's most appealing. Look for the one that has a higher potential for growth, in the future. Because there are trends, whether you want to believe it or not, there are job trends, and you can look up a Google search for job trends to figure out, what jobs are becoming more in demand and less in demand. So you can kind of use that as an umbrella or as a navigation to figure out where you want to start and how you want to do it. But like I said, everything starts with curiosity. You gotta want to understand something and know something first before you apply yourself.
Right. So within all these area of expertise and about 200 job title, I think having one that people love to do, that's the first things comes in the picture when people are thinking about that. I would make cybersecurity. I'll be a hacker. All that's such a thing, right? And
Yeah.
so digital hacker is growing, right? There are jobs as digital hackers. They actually hire them to try to penetrate and do for the loop. What do you think of hacking their
Oh man.
operation?
I can barely hear you now. I didn't hear anything you said the last 30 seconds. If you don't mind repeating yourself, that would be great.
No, sure, yeah. Roland in the cities, right? The people where there are people like to hackers in networking. There are different ways of being a hacker. So, what is your take on somebody wants to become a hacker? What are the things they should learn? Now, how do they, prepare for the job?
Okay. I'm gonna rephrase the question because it was real spotty, the connection. So, like I said, I couldn't really hear everything you were saying. But like I said, I'm gonna rephrase the question and see if I got it right. So your question was, if someone is curious enough to want to learn how to hack or uh, get into cybersecurity, what do they need to do, and what are the steps? What's like the roadmap, to becoming a cybersecurity analyst or an ethical hacker? Is that a question? What the roadmap is to become a ethical hacker or cybersecurity analyst? Is that a question?
Yeah, that's a question.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was a question? Hello? Hello? There we go.
Yeah, sorry about that. You know, once again, world networking, um, and so there are too many ways to make a career. What do you think of that? What should a person start learning?
Man, we're gonna have to fight with our ISPs, man, because they're not trying to let us be great right now, you know. Um, but I believe I picked up some things from what you were saying about networking and programming and the steps to become a hacker. So I'm gonna assume that that's the question, and I'm just gonna go off of that. So I don't like to tell fairy tales about how to do this or how to do that. I like to speak from experience because I believe that's a genuine way to answer a question if someone is curious as to how to be something similar or be, in the same position that you're in. Can you hear me, Sheikh?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell my own story on how I became an ethical hacker, and hopefully that's gonna shed some lights into what it takes to be an ethical hacker, the steps, and what you can expect. So everything started off in my earlier years. This is probably like 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. I was working with a company as a junior sysadmin. This is Linux administration right here. I was working as a junior Linux sysadmin. You know, configuring user workstations. Administering new servers. This and that. And I got real curious because there was a dude in my company, but a different team. He was an ethical hacker. And sometimes we'll have conversations about how our jobs are. How it is in the workplace where you have people working on different projects and different teams, but sometimes you guys just come across and you guys talk about what's going on. Maybe that happens, maybe that doesn't happen. But I started talking with this dude. He was a hacker, And I'm like, man, what you doing is cool, man. Like, tell me about it. What's your day to day, And I did the same thing. I told him about my day to day too. But it really fascinated me, him talking about what he was doing. Like, oh, we get to scan, we get to, infiltrate the system, we get to, go through a backdoor, create an exploit which gives
So
us
do you
access.
know how to do all this though? Do you know how to do
Yeah,
all of this?
absolutely. It's part of the, the skill sets of being a hacker. You've got to know how to infiltrate and, get into systems, of course, with approval, because you don't want to be messing with people's digital stuff. There's legalities to ethical hacking. So the same thing that happens in the real world where you can't just walk into someone's house and, use their restroom, is the same thing that happens in the digital world as well. Like, you've got to approach things with approval and authorization. So with the right authorization, you could, do whatever you want. You could hack into systems, you could hack into websites, you could hack into databases and, just look at a whole lot of, stuff, obviously based on your customers' clients, you don't want to go AWOL, but cut a long story short, I'm gonna give you a short summary of how I got into ethical hacking. So like I said, I was talking with this dude and he told me about his day to day, and that really got me excited. I'm like, wow, this sounds really cool. Because like I said, I've always been a curious person. Growing up, I used to watch the show on Discovery Channel. I don't know if you guys ever watched that, but it's called,
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one of my favorites.
yeah, there was a show back then they used to run. It's called How It's Made, and How Stuff Works. There's actually two different shows: How Stuff Works and How It's Made. And they kind of like break down each process, how like you make a phone, for example, or you make a car. They go from each step of the process and they show you how the car is constructed and how the car is deconstructed. The same thing with how it works as well, or how stuff works. Kind of like a theoretical and visual aid showing you how stuff works. So growing up, I've had that behind my mind. Looking at things, interacting with back then Nokia phones. How does this work? How does this laptop work? How is it that I'm able to type and see what I'm typing on the screen there and communicate with someone on the other side of the world? How does stuff work? So that has always been my curiosity. How things work. So coupling that with the opportunity of meeting the hacker in my company, it's like, wow, this is probably another opportunity for me to learn actually how websites and computer systems work. I mean, how amazing would it be for me to actually learn how to, hack a computer or how to hack a website or how to hack
Absolutely.
it just sounded really interesting.
You know the skill, right? You know the skill, it really helps you doing your job.
What do you say?
Others say just because, uh, did it help your personal level at your home? Like you feel like you're protected. So this hacking skill not only helping you at the professional level, right? But also it's you're protecting your home router, your own data, your own person. Do you think this
Absolutely.
is a
Absolutely. So I see this profession as not just, oh, something I gotta do 9 to 5 and I'm done. I forget about it. No, it's a lifestyle. I bring that same awareness into my personal life and it helps me. So everyone that's watching this right now and is listening to this definitely has Wi-Fi, is connected to Wi-Fi. Probably you're at home connected to your home Wi-Fi. So that means you have a digital environment in your home. So what that means is you have a router, you have, your computer or your phone. All that is a digital environment. And, coming from a hacker's point of view, you become aware of the environment you're in and you want everything to be protected because believe it or not, there are people out there that want to hack you and turn your system into a botnet. So your system can DDoS major companies. You might not know this, but it happens in the background.
hey
But
man? I'm also even if pursue security, it's amazing to feel that I know how to protect my devices. I know how to protect my
absolutely.
neighbors.
So, oh man.
right? It's great. So I'm going to go to my next question. So what got into IT very first beginning?
Hello?
Roland, you heard my question?
No, no, you were frozen the whole time.
Okay, I was saying that what inspired you to get into IT industry when you were a kid? Did you think that you will become an IT guy?
Absolutely not. Matter of fact, I have a degree right now in psychology.
Wow,
Believe it or not, I don't have a degree in computer science
that's
or
a 360-degree turn.
it's a I know a lot of my friends and family tell me that how do you find your way there, and I'm like, it's just, you gotta, if you want something, you gotta put your mind to it and you can achieve it regardless of what it is, whether you're trying to work out, you're trying to become an ethical hacker. Once you have your intentions right and you have a plan, all you need to do is execute and be consistent. You can become literally a hacker if you have your plan, if you have the right intention, and if you're consistent. And I'm no different from that. I did the exact same things. I had an intention. I had a real genuine curiosity as to how systems and websites and data was managed and run. And I really had a curiosity to figure out how to bypass these systems legally, of course. So that was my intention, like I said, and I backed that up with consistency and dedication to learning the practice. And before you know it, I'm right here, working with a major company, and it's been very rewarding.
Absolutely. So, what made you decide that you can train cybersecurity and help others get into the job? And when did you start training?
Okay, so I started off with a few of my colleagues from a company I used to work with, SEC. Um, it's a federal agency in the U.S. right here. I met a few good people that were also professionals in their own realm of cybersecurity, and we got together, we got talking, and we're like, how can we empower people that have the zeal to learn and the curiosity to learn new things, and the commitment to stick to a plan and execute. How can we improve the lives of these people? So what we did was we put together a brochure, we put together our materials from our individual domains. Mine was ethical hacking, theirs were different other fields in cybersecurity. We came together, we brainstormed, and we were able to come up with different curriculums, uh, obviously attending to each of our career paths. And those curriculums are based around understanding what it took for us to get to where we are as professionals right now, all the different levels and all the different resources that we leverage to get to where we are right now. So our training is like imparting our experience, our ups, our downs, our resources as well from us into the students. And that has been very awesome so far. We've been able to staff and train so many students that are working in the field right now. Many of them are working six-figure jobs, and they're like, 2 years ago I never thought I could be doing this. A year ago I never thought I could be doing this. Some of them we've recruited people that have been will come from all walks of life. I know someone that was a security guard for a federal agency, and now he's working as a cybersecurity analyst, for for an agency, So all, like I said, the cybersecurity field, the trick is in your skills, and you can't hide your skills. Like, if you got the skills, you got it. If you don't got it, you don't got it. And how do you get the skills? It's through having the right resources, being committed to your goal and sticking to it, and in due time you have the skills, and it's the skills that market itself. It's not your head or anything. It's the raw skills you have that market itself. So that's what we try to impart to
Absolutely.
students, so they can be of value to themselves and to the community.
Absolutely. Hey, I just saw a comment. Okay,
Okay.
so you can hear me
Oh,
now.
there we go. Yeah.
And the internet has been really bad here in New York. So, anyways, I was saying that people are watching us international from different distinct location. What do you think? These cybersecurity jobs are doable from home, or if someone's in Bangladesh, India, or any other part of the world, if they want to see cybersecurity and learn skill set, they can make a career. Is this job doable remotely?
So your question is, how feasible is it to get a remote job, and is this something you can do remotely? Is that a question? Because it
Yes.
was spotty, the network. Okay. I would say that's a really good question because it kind of ties into one of the minor reasons why I wanted to get into ethical hacking or pen testing, and it's the it's the amount of time that you have on your hands as an engineer, as an analyst. And what do I mean? You have your time on your hands. You don't work a conventional job where you have to have a physical office and you have to have, someone watching over your back telling you, oh, this is how you do it. This is what I need you to do. No. Um, One of the few things that I was told before I even got into the field was that number one, you get a whole lot of personal time. And what that means is you get to work remotely. This was way before COVID became a thing. You get to work remotely for the most part. You are your own boss. They give you uh, the questionnaires or the tickets, and you are the one fully in charge of the whole project. That might seem intimidating, but trust me, it's far from intimidating. It's actually very simple once you understand the steps and what it takes to, conduct a pen test. But like I said, that was one of the things that kind of like gave me more interest to get into the ethical hacking field. The fact that you could work remotely is like, I can work from home and still do what I want to do, take care of my, my family, take care of main priorities, and at the same time work as well. As like, wow, it's a no-brainer. Coupled with the fact that it also pays well. It pays really well. Ethical hacking. I think ethical hacking is probably one of, I would say, top three highest paying jobs in the US right now. I I would say ethical hacking is top three.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So, how long does it take to make a career for somebody? If somebody started from scratch.
So with no prior experience in IT, I would say a good estimate, because I don't believe in constraints or boundaries. I believe with the right kind of motivation and desire and zeal, you could do anything in as fast or as long a time you want. Well, I like to give a reasonable amount of time, and I would say a reasonable time is between a year. If you had no prior experiences, around a year. And let me break that down a little bit more. So a year, break that down into two parts. You have 6 months of training. I provide a 6 months of training, which encompasses lab works. So we're gonna create a lab. We're gonna have a website that we're gonna host by ourselves in our environment. We're gonna work on those labs. We're gonna test those labs like they're real tests against real websites, because like I said, it's a real website we're gonna be testing. We're gonna have a whole curriculum that's gonna run for about 2.5, 3 months, and after that, we're gonna have another 2, 3 months of internship where you're gonna be working a real job. So that's the first 6 months. The first 6 months is getting your skills together, and that requires a whole lot of research, a whole lot of time, a whole lot of commitment. I will tell you this though, I've taught a lot of people, and you're a teacher as well, so I'm sure you can relate to this. A lot of people want a quick fix. They want, oh, can I watch this?
There's no shortcut.
Yeah,
There's no shortcut of a shortcut, right?
yes. They want, oh, can I watch this video, or can you tell me this so I can become a hacker overnight? And I'm like, no. If you're looking for the easy way out, go do something else. Go, kick rocks or something. But if you really want to become a pen tester, it's not hard. Just the same way a bodybuilder builds muscle over time, and someone that's very fit
Absolutely.
today, a year from now, he could be ripped, six packs, all that is because he was consistent and he had a plan. It's the same principle you got to apply to ethical hacking. Like if
So
you're,
I gotta tell you this, Roland. We are
yeah,
here at Transfotech. We're doing this for last 6+ years right now. We were established in 2014. I have given training to too many people and changed their life who are making $100,000+. Some of them became managers
okay,
and above, right? But mainly, I was giving training. We were giving training on QA development. Cybersecurity is a great addition to it, and the situation, the world demands more cybersecurity engineers because we need to protect this world. As
absolutely.
the more and more people are working online, the hackers are active, right? So
Mhm.
before I go further into the discussion, I would like to show a little video because this episode of TikTok was sponsored by Transfotech Academy. Would like to see a little video of what Transfotech Academy does.
Okay.
Technology is ever evolving. Since the start of the 21st century, we've seen huge advancements. In 2002, iRobot Corporation released the first version of its Roomba vacuum cleaning robot. In 2004, Facebook was founded. In 2007, Apple introduced a touchscreen cell phone called the iPhone. In 2010, 3D TV started to become more widely available. In 2013, Elon Musk announced Hyperloop, a giant pneumatic tube transport system. In 2015, supercomputers are just a mere 30 times less powerful than human brains. In 2017, quantum computing shows signs of becoming a practical technology. And in 2018, Google announces Cloud Auto ML, a suite of pre-trained systems that could make AI simpler to use. And these advancements are showing no signs of slowing down, which is leaving businesses falling short of employees with the relevant required IT skills. In 2016, 20% of organisations were experiencing visible business disruptions due to the IT skills gap. It's now at 75% and climbing. Employers are desperately searching for qualified candidates. In an increasingly growing market, employers are willing to pay higher salaries for applicants with up-to-date knowledge who can bring the most sought-after skills to their business, says Mark Rhodes from read.co.uk. Are you ready to get your hands on the tech world and feel the huge demand for professionals? Our career consultants are here to help you demystify the tech industry and navigate you through the expansive career opportunities. Experience our career-ready education.
All right. We have seen a trend of technology, how the world has been changed over the last 20 years, and how Transfotech is really adding value by providing those hands-on trainings. Cybersecurity is definitely a new addition. So, Roland, we would like to talk about the course that you were talking about, right? That you are going to start and offer. It's kind of a 6-month roadmap to become an ethical hacker. So what are the qualifications that people needs to be, eligible to get into your course, or it doesn't matter, right? No, give us
So
an example.
you definitely don't need a degree in computer science. I'll tell you that off the bat. But I will tell you what you definitely need is a zeal to learn, an unquenchable thirst to learn, you definitely need to bring that into the class, come with an open mind as well. And I would tell you, just like I said, I'm a product of a psychology degree, and that didn't stop me from pursuing my dream,
But that actually helped you because you know how to read people's mind, because hacking is kind of.
Absolutely. So psychology is understanding the mechanics of the mind, and ethical hacking is understanding the mechanics of websites. This is one and the same, just applying the same, principles in a different way. But like I said, having an open mind not being limited, because I'll be honest with you, before I even started pen testing, one of my gurus, he's a Linux guru, he was like, oh man, ethical hacking is so hard. Like, he made it look like this monster that was insurmountable. I'm like, wait, how am I gonna pursue my dream if it's impossible? Like, I
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to do this, But I didn't let that stop me though. I didn't let that stop me. I let my zeal push me through and my commitment to learning. So I would say it's open to anyone that has an interest in learning how websites work. Anyone that also wants to improve their resume, their portfolio, their marketability. Because, like I said, ethical hacking makes you the asset. Just like the video also said, there is a huge there's a huge demand and very little supply of penetration testers or ethical hackers. And if you have the skill, you are the assets, and companies are willing to pay top money for your skills.
So in your training, would you start from the beginning and be like helping him to gain the fundamental, and then kind of take him into the upscale hacking skill?
So that's a good question. Ethical hacking is kind of like an intermediate skill to learn. It requires you to have a good understanding of several domains before you actually start delving into the ethical hacking domain itself. And there's a few domains that you have to, have a good understanding. And we're going to cover all these domains in the class as well. I call them prerequisites to fully dive into ethical hacking. So the first prerequisite is understanding how operating systems work, or systems in general, whether it's a Windows system or a Linux system or a Mac system. Having a good understanding of the system, navigating the system, and working the system. So that's the first prerequisite, having a good operating system knowledge. The second one is having a good networking knowledge or a good networking background. And what that means is understanding how the system that we just understood right now, I just learned about how this system interacts with other systems, right? And that's pretty much what networking is, understanding the fundamentals that goes on the background between networks and computers. So that's the second prerequisite, understanding, networking. The third one is understanding databases or applications, how they interact, because an application is just a software on a hardware on a computer. So we're going to understand a little bit of OSI model. We're going to understand a little bit of protocols. We're going to understand a little bit of IP addressing and netmap and CIDR blocks and things like that. We're going to understand softwares and how they interact with computers. The last one, which is also good and which is relevant to the field that I'm working on, the course I'm teaching, is understanding how databases work. And I promise you, all these are simple and easy to pick up topics and ideas. They're very simple. All you need to do is apply yourself and be consistent. And before you know it, you'll be hacking into systems. But like I said, those four domains: operating systems, applications, databases, and networking. Once you have those four domains locked down, then it's all about applying that knowledge and using that knowledge to hack. Because think about it, there's no new thing we're learning in hacking other than the tools to hack. So the tools are like an addition, to help you get into the system that you already know how to get into or how to navigate, right? So you might learn how to use this tool, but your understanding of networking and your understanding of operating systems is going to let you break into this computer and get the information you want to get from this computer, because you know how to navigate the computer, right?
Right, absolutely.
So that's
So hey, I heard about this cool thing called bug bounty, hunting, right, for international people. Like, if you find a vulnerability in a website or network for those big companies, like if you are trying to penetrate Amazon and you really found a vulnerability, if you submit it to them, they actually give money. There are a lot of my students that they're trying to make the bug bounty hunting as a career. Is this for real? I mean, someone can really make money by just learning hacking and penetration and not really working for any company, but just independently doing bug bounty hunting.
Absolutely. That's a whole, career path in itself, bug bounty, and I coincidentally met a bug bounty hunter a few years ago when I was working with the SEC, and he told me, it's a pretty good field. If that's where you want to work as an independent consultant, that's fine. They pay a whole lot of money. A whole lot of companies are going to hire you, or you could freelance your skills, looking for vulnerabilities and try to let these companies know that, hey, look, your system is not as secure as you think it is. You need to change this. You need to update this, and they'll pay you. They're going to pay you because you're saving them money. That's what it is.
This is amazing. So this could be outsourced, and this is for international people, whoever is watching us right now. So if you are learning how to hack, and you don't have to get a job within a corporation, there is a whole bunch of career path for you called bug bounty hunting. I learned about it, Google it. I learned it and I was amazed. I was like, anybody could do it from India or Bangladesh or Nepal or wherever, right? And make fat money, like Roland said. So that's amazing. I think we are almost toward the end of the episode. This is our first episode. We wanted to bring some of the industry knowledge on cybersecurity. However, we are starting a cybersecurity course, Transfotech Academy and Roland's company together. We are starting a cybersecurity course, and we have a free session and orientation that Roland has talked about, that 6 domains: networking, application, database, and operating system, and few more. This free session, we would really give you hands-on, hands-on labs kind of, free class session, and followed by we have a 3 months ethical hacking course that we are starting together. If you guys want to check it out, feel free to join October 19. Roland, you can tell us a little more that how the free session will be and what will they be learning.
So in the free orientation session, we're gonna cover a few topics in the curriculum. We're gonna start off with a little bit of operating system navigation, getting people familiar with what these systems look like and what they're going to be working with when the time comes for them to take the training and when they're going to start working as well. Because you need to get comfortable with systems. You're going to be working with systems the whole time. So I'm going to get them a little bit. I'm going to get their feet wet with looking at the systems, getting comfortable with Kali Linux, getting comfortable with Metasploitable. If you don't know what those two are, those are the two environments and systems we're going to be working with in the class. And we're also going to do a quick demo of hacking. Actually, I might not have the time.
You're going to hack the system. You're going to hack a live system, and we'll watch.
Absolutely. It's going to be a control box, so there is no breaking of the law here. I'm going to set up an environment, and I'm going to have a website, and I'm going to test the website. I'm going to break into the website actually.
Wow.
It's going to be part of the presentation, just so you guys can have an idea of what it looks like in person, what hacking looks like. Because I'll be honest, before I got into the hacking field,
it's fun. To me, it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
Me coming from a software world, like application kind of the world, that's where I come from, right? But look, cybersecurity is not just in the hacking area. Even in software development, required to have cybersecurity engineers, right? Security analysts, DevSecOps, right? It's everywhere. Even the developers need to be aware of the security codings, right? So there are security coders, also a role in cybersecurity. So I know the cyber world from the development perspective, from the DevOps perspective, but hacking into a system is really a cool thing to me, like many others. So we'll be very excited and anxiously waiting for you to see how do you break into someone's system.
Absolutely.
And obviously, like you mentioned, we're not breaking any laws here. So
yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I look forward to also sharing the experience and hopefully you find an interested and curious enough student so we can make this journey together. Because I feel as much inspired to impart the knowledge I have, just based off of the experience and the guidance that was given to me by the person I met down the road that put me onto the hacking path. So it's kind of like my responsibility right now to guide people as best as I can so they can become their own leaders, their own hackers, not just for companies, for your own personal home environment, and for, whoever may need your skills. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Very good. So last question. The cybersecurity domain is really a certificate-driven domain, right?
Yeah.
So after this course, like what kind of certificate they will be eligible to obtain if they want to?
So after this course, you should be on a good path to getting your certified ethical hacker. Although I would say it's not a prerequisite for you to get a job having a certificate, but it's better if you have a certificate, because the way a whole lot of contracts are written up these days, at least speaking for the US, I don't know about foreign countries, but speaking for the US and speaking for the specific geographical location, which is DC, many companies are looking for you to have at least one certificate, before they hire you. I normally recommend the Certified Ethical Hacker, CEH. That's a pretty good certificate.
CEH
Yeah,
is a good certification. It
yeah,
has a lot of value, right?
yeah. A lot of companies are gonna hire you if you have the CEH certificate. I'll be honest. I got into cybersecurity without a certificate. All I had was my bachelor's degree in psychology, and I was working as a cybersecurity analyst. But when I got my certified ethical hacker certificate, that bumped my paycheck up 40%. So
Wow.
let's say I was making $100, I was now making $140. So it was like night and day. And the only difference was the certificate. So the
That's
more you,
amazing. So
yeah.
it's worth putting that time beforehand for the student to get the certificate and get into a mid-level job, right? Not
Mhm.
like working 3 years in the industry and then you do your ethical hacking certificate.
Yeah, so the certificate just tells everyone that, look, this person knows what he's doing, is proficient in this skill, in this domain, and he shouldn't be messed with. But anything other than that, it's your word versus their word. But the certificate just says this person is a professional in this field and he knows what he's doing, and that's gonna open a whole lot of doors for you and opportunities. So I highly recommend people that take this course, after they take this course, to go get a certificate. And it's only gonna help your career.
Absolutely. Great. So I think there was a question about what would be the enrollment process for this course. Well, it's very easy. It's go visit transfotechacademy.com website and you see the curriculum of the cybersecurity course that we're going to offer. Give us a call or send us an email. Our informations are there. Also, you can send a message in Facebook, however way you prefer. Just reach out to us, and if that is not possible, go visit our Facebook page. Make sure you like it, and there's a way you would always get updated information. We are holding an orientation. It's on October 19th, if I'm not wrong. Go check it out. There is an event in our Facebook page, and we would like to inform you before that happens. It's not only an orientation for this course, like Roland said, that he will literally try to break out a system in front of you and show people that how cool it is and how knowledgeable and skillful it is, right? So October 19th, 7 p.m.
All right, that's a date.
There you go. Save it in your calendar. So at the end, Roland, what do you like to generally say to our audience and who is watching us right now?
I would like to say, first of all, thank you for taking the time out to come listen to us, I and Sheikh, have a conversation about cybersecurity. It really means a lot. And for those of you out there, the ordinary fact that you joined this meeting right now, this podcast, is because you're curious about what are these guys talking about, what tech talk is, what are they talking about, and now you know exactly what we're here for, what we're bringing to the table. So, I hope that we've been able to spark some flames of curiosities in your minds right now to be like, I really want to know what it's going to be like if I could, take control of my environment, my digital environments, and how I can be more valuable to myself and the community as a greater good. So I hope, we're able to spark that curiosity in your mind. So with that, thank you.
Thank you, Roland. We'll be looking forward to see you on October 19th. Viewers, thank you for joining with us today. And that was our first episode of Tech Talk. We promise you that we will be bringing more industry talk, more industry expert every week, Friday at 9 p.m. Especially the next episode, next Friday, 9 p.m. Don't forget to tune in because we're going to talk about the data science, data analytics, big data, how the data is, the big data analytics is changing the entire industry. If you want to watch that, keep your eyes on our Transfotech Academy Facebook page. And for today, we are taking off. Everybody have a good night and be safe. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.